previous video, we are finished up with the conclusion we need to screen our clients against sanctions list, right? So that means the question is what information we have to collect within our business to allow the screening to happen. So that means we come to the question, what does it mean, know your client or KYC? General idea behind the KYC is that you exactly know your client. With the more details you have, the better. This will allow you not to start or continue your business with a person or entity which is named on sanctions list. That means you have to collect information within your own databases about your customers, but not only about that, but also about your partners, all sorts of partners you have. Why? Once again, to screen their information, details against sanctions lists. And here, IT helps to structure this information and to keep the single and readable format for this information to allow this screening to happen smoothly and without any problems. So what sort of information exactly would be necessary to keep in your files to allow screening to happen? So first of all names. That means names of your customers, physical persons, legal entities, but that's not enough because sometimes we see that businesses limit their screening just with the screening of the names, but this is not what we have to screen. Also, you have to screen against addresses. So you keep information of addresses, related countries of your customers and business partners. What sort of business they are engaged. You have to keep this information in a file as well. Because as we mentioned before, sectoral sanctions may be applicable and you have to keep this information at hand to be able to understand that this exact customer may be subject to restrictions or sanctions. Also, you need to have information about the representatives of your customers. That means beneficial owners, that means shareholders, also directors of your clients, authorized persons, signatures. And what is probably the most important here, understanding who is owner or beneficial owner and what percent of holding or shareholding he has, he or she. Ownership in terms of sanctions is a very crucial topic. And you have to explore this ownership of your clients and also your partners very carefully, because we keep in mind the existence of so-called 50% rule. That means a company is sanctioned if a sanctioned person owns 50% or more of this company, either directly or indirectly, right? So in real life, it may happen that a person, Mr. X, is a sanctioned person, and he is an owner of a company A, and this company A does not appear on the sanctions list. But as soon as Mr. X is owner and he owns 100% of company A also should be considered as a sanctioned entity. And you have to recognize this situation through the understanding of your information within your databases. You keep within the process of the KYC. So assets of any entity controlled, that means not owned but controlled, by a listed person or sanctioned person also must be frozen even if the entity itself is not listed on the sanctions list. So be careful with these situations. Screen not only names of companies but also related persons, especially the owners of businesses of your customers and partners. And before you enter a business relationship, you have to check names and owners against sanctions list to be sure that you are not engaging in business with the persons targeted by sanctions. So be proactive. Do not onboard a client who is a sanctioned person or who is a sanctioned owner or business controller of a company. And the same is applicable to partners, not necessarily your clients whom you provide services to, but also your partners, vendors, whose services you are using in your turn. You have to be sure that you are not receiving services from sanctioned persons as well. So KYC, know your customer rule, is key to understand and keep information for being sanction compliant, to keep your business in good order and not to be punished by authorities for non-compliance.